Hey, what is shaking YouTube today? We are going to do the UFC 244 Diaz versus Masvidal full fight card predictions. We're going to start at the top of the prelims, the main event of the prelims. Then we're going to do the whole main card. Now, this whole card is pretty much stacked. And yeah, even the early prelims and everything are really good. A lot of people that are new on the roster, but all the fights, all the matchups look very well. They all have very close records. It's going to be a great night of fights. So, we are going to start it off with Corey Anderson versus Johnny Walker. This is going to be the last fight on the preliminary card, and a very big one in the light heavyweight division. So, Corey Anderson, very wrestling heavy, very well-rounded though. Very good, heavy hands, with a record of, 13-4. And then we got Johnny Walker with a record of 17-3. So right off the bat, Walker has a better record, but I must say Corey Anderson's probably been fighting the better guys. Walker's only had 2 short fights in the UFC, but he's really looked promising and very exciting, and I'm really hoping he wins and maybe we get to see him versus John Jones down the road. Right now, I'm actually going to have to go with Johnny Walker on this. Johnny Walker is also the gambling favorite. If any of you guys like to place bets online or anything, or if you're looking for somewhere to place bets online, I always use BetDSI. I'll put a link down below where you can get a free 20 bucks on your first deposit also if you want to use there. But yeah, according to BetDSI, Johnny Walker, pretty big favorite. Well, a 156 favorite, which I would agree with. I think Johnny Walker's going to win, probably knockout first round, but we will see. Also, Corey Anderson, if you look at his nipples right here, I'll put on the screen. Yeah, that's like a side effect of steroids when your nipples look like that. So he's either on steroids now when they took this picture, or he used to be on steroids or something. Because yeah, when you're ripped but your nipples look like that, that means you're on steroids. Okay, so I don't like that. So right off the bat, I don't want him to win. I'm going with Johnny Walker. Okay, and next, first fight on the main card, we got Gregor Gillespie. Gregor Gillespie, the fisherman, versus Kelvin Lee. Now, Gregor Gillespie, he's actually like probably the most decorated American wrestler in the whole UFC roster, especially the lightweight division. I believe he's like the 2-time NCAA champion and all sorts of collegiate wrestling like awards. He's 13-0. Kelvin Lee is 17-4. Kelvin Lee is one of those fighters who's pretty good, but you can break him. He's definitely mentally weak. He's a good wrestler, but not as good as Gregor, and I think Gregor's going to take this one. I'd say probably decision, but I could see Gregor submitting him, or no, yeah, Kelvin Lee usually gives up. I'm going to say 3rd round TKO Gregor Gillespie. All right, we're going to cruising right through. Okay, now we're going to go to the heavyweights on the card. We got everybody's favorite Derek the Black Beast Lewis and Blagoy Ivanov. So Blagoy Ivanov he's kind of like a brawler type. His record is actually really good. He's 17-2 and 1 no contest. He's from Bulgaria. And then, the Black Beast is just, he's one of those guys. He's 21-7. His big deal is he gasses out hardcore and he can't take body shots. But yeah, he hits really freaking hard. So I'm actually going to have to go with Ivanov on this. Who's the favorite? Let's take a look at this. Ivanov is the favorite, which I agree with the gambling odds. I think I don't know. I think he's gonna knock out Black Beast. I think the Black Beast. I don't think he's really as good as all the hype behind him. He's very funny. I love the guy. He's really cool, fun to watch, exciting. But yeah, he kind of like you hit him in the body and he doesn't want to fight anymore. So I think this guy's gonna hit him in the body and he's not gonna want to fight anymore. So that's my prediction on that. Okay, now we got 3 fights left. This next one I'm actually really, really excited about. We got Vincente the Silent Assassin Luque and Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Now, both of them very good records. Pretty good. Stephen Thompson's 14-4-1, and Vincente Luque is 16-6-1. Now, Luque, his last fight was against Mike Perry. I actually thought he was losing the whole fight. I thought it was a close fight, but he was losing until he broke Perry's nose, and he kind of stole the last round, and he won on. It was a split decision, but I think it should have went the other way. I think Perry still won. He took a bunch of damage at the end of the fight, but he was getting the better of him most of the fight. Stephen Thompson's coming off some bad losses, and he really, really needs this one. So I'm actually going to go with him on this one. Let me see what his gambling odds on this one. Yeah, Stephen Thompson's a slight favorite. These can change too. These are as of making this video. But yeah, I would actually go with Stephen Thompson. Hopefully he knocks him out. That's what I want to see. I want to see a second round head kick knockout. That would be perfect. Okay, so far we're down to just the last 2 fights, guys. I think. Are we? Yeah. Kelvin, Gastelum, and Darren Till for the co-main event. Now this fight actually is really exciting. I don't see why more people aren't talking about this fight. Now, Kelvin Gastelum, he's coming off the loss to Israel Adesanya, which was a very close fight. He almost won. Bad game plan on my part. He's such a good wrestler. If you followed his early career, that's how he won the Ultimate Fighter and everything. And you see a lot of these guys, they come into the UFC and they're great wrestlers, and then throughout the years they get good at throwing hands, and then they quit wrestling. And it's like, dude, do what's gonna win the freaking fight. Like, he probably could have won that fight if he just wrestled him the whole fight, right off the bat. Chael Sonnen style, just don't even think about striking, just wrestle, and he probably would have won the fight. And I can say the same thing with this fight. If he just takes Till to the ground, he should destroy him. Till isn't really that good on the ground. But Till's very good stand-up, and I think, this is cool because Till's going up in weight, but Kelvin also used to be a welterweight, and Till's actually he's huge even at this weight class. So, I don't know, it's hard to say. This one, I think Till needs it more. They both need this win. Till is a big underdog. So, I don't know, maybe I'll put $5 on Till. I think I'm actually going to go with Till because it depends what game plan Kelvin has. If he's smart or just trying to throw his hands. If he's just trying to throw his hands, Till's probably going to catch him, I think. He's coming off 2, bad losses, getting dropped and knocked out, and that's got to... I don't know. I think he's got to be really been working on his hands a lot. Kelvin, though, is great boxing, very crisp, but he's a lot shorter. He's got, Darren Till's 6 feet, he's 5'9". So this is going to be quite the reach advantage for Darren Till. And if Kelvin's smart, he'll take him down. But I have a feeling Kelvin's not going to fight smart, and he's gonna rock Till a couple times and do good, and then get too cocky with a stand up and then get dropped. That's what I think is going to happen. So I'm going to say knockout Darren Till. Round 2 or 3. Maybe I'll say round 3 with this one. So he's going to catch him with a left cross and just put him in the shadow realm. Okay, the last fight. The main event. Now this, out of all the fights on the card, I am the least confident with any of my picks on. Now, both these dudes have been around forever. Masvidal is 33-13, and Diaz is 20-11. So very similar records. Masvidal's got quite a bit more fights. He's actually got 12 more fights. But both these guys are extremely decorated. On the ground, I think it's actually a lot more even than most people think. I think a lot of people are giving Diaz a huge advantage. And most people, what I've heard is they think it's pretty even stand-up, but Masvidal has more power and Diaz gets hit a lot, so they'd say they'd give a slight advantage to Masvidal stand-up. But on the ground, they'd give a slight advantage to Diaz. I don't know. Masvidal, he had Damian Maia on his back for 5 rounds and he never tapped out. He's got better submission defense than Ben Askren, that's for sure. And... yeah, this is really close, but I do think Diaz does get hit too much. I think that's the one thing. Is Diaz, he takes too many shots. He's one of those guys, he'll take one to give one. He'll take 2 sometimes to give one. And he's one of those guys, he's a volume striker, so I don't know. This is going to be a really, really interesting fight. I don't know, I feel like Masvidal, it's his time right now. Diaz has been... it's hard to say, though, because Masvidal, this is his first time tasting fame, so who knows how that's... maybe he's isn't as dedicated in his training as he should be, but he seems like the type of guy that he doesn't let any of that get to his head. Where Diaz, he's like that. He's always been this big star, and he's one of those guys, he still lives in the biggest shithole in California, and, he doesn't care about money, really. He's just, as long as he's one of those guys, as long as he can get by, whatever, This one really is a coin toss to me, but I'm gonna have to go slight advantage, I think, Jorge Masvidal. I want to see this go all 5. I want to see a great fight that it just goes all 5. They beat the crap out of each other. And it's a great fight. So, yeah, I'm going to have to say Jorge Masvidal, round 5 decision. Close fight. One of those. Hopefully there's a rematch and, maybe we'll get to see a trilogy out of this or something. But, yeah, these are my predictions for UFC 244. Hopefully you guys like them. If you agree with me, if you disagree with me, whatever, let me know down below. If you want to make bets on any of this, I can't recommend BetDSI enough. This isn't sponsored. I just use them. And I've never had a bad experience. I've been using them for a couple years now. And there's always a code that, if you're a first buyer, you can get $25 or $20 free or something with your first deposit. I'll put all that down below. So thank you guys for watching. Peace out, and see you at the fights.